The Global Compact on Safe, Regular, and Orderly Migration is a UN process of negotiations that are going on right now amongst all governments except for the United States to identify the objectives and the framework for migration governance for the decades to come. So the Global Compact on Migration is relevant because it will be the global document in terms of guidance for how governments should think about cooperating on cross-border migration for decades to come. The Global Compact is not a binding agreement. So it's important for migrant organizations, for migrant rights institutions, civil society, to be part of the Global Compact process because it will affect how all of our governments are looking at migration policies in every aspect, from areas of integration and social inclusion, economic policies, labor rights, human rights issues, gender issues, as well as remittances, border security. All of these policies really will be framed by what the Compact identifies as its objectives in the final document. So civil society organizations have been quite mobilized since the beginning of the Compact process in 2016, when governments came together at the UN High-Level Summit on Refugees and Migrants. And since then, through 2017, hundreds of civil society organizations have participated in consultations in New York and Geneva, but also at national levels, and in 7 regional civil society consultation processes. The Compact will have an implementation, follow-up, and review mechanism that may involve national action plans. It may involve some national review process aligned to the UN system or through the Global Forum on Migration and Development. These will all be tools that civil society groups can then use to highlight the issues and the campaigns and the areas that they're working on already. What would be important is for especially the smaller civil society organizations that are maybe don't have as much capacity, that are engaged at the national or grassroots level, to work within a network, to use this process to help formulate networks, national, and then those are tied to regional processes that are going to make sure that it's groups on the ground that are telling governments whether the commitments they made in the Compact to human rights protections, or protections for vulnerable migrants at the border, or protections for children towards ending the practice of detention, if these are materializing. It's important for those groups to be the one to play a role as the watchdog monitoring what governments are committing to in this Compact and what they're going to be practicing in coming years.